Hello again. So last week we finished off the Hay River track. Now we're hitting the French line. So we've just finished Simpson Desert east and south, and now we're heading west to do the dunes all over again. So in the 60s, I think it was, the French Petroleum Company cut this line across. I can't remember the purpose, something to do with petroleum, one would presume. But so we're about 3 k's west of Poppel Corner, and doing all of the dunes all the way across to Dalhousie Springs, which according to this sign is 269 kilometres to go. And then we'll be done on our deserts. We're up to about 600 so far, I think, from Mount Dare. Awesome, thanks. Hope you enjoy this part of it. And we are rolling on the French line. 269 k's to Dalhousie. So, I don't know, it depends how slow we go. We might even knock it over tomorrow. Depends, we've still got, it's only 11 o'clock. We budgeted all day to do this based on how bad yesterday was, and we hit that road after 50 or 30 k's even. So we knocked that over in 3.5 hours.
Yeah, we were planning to stay at Poppel.
Yeah.
But I think we'll get heaps further than that.
So it depends what speed we're going. There's a nasty grinding sound coming out of the front end of the car on front right side on max compression and max extension when it loses traction, and we don't know what it is. It's happening when it's in 4-wheel drive and when it's in 2-wheel drive, so we're not entirely sure. We can't find any source of it, any obvious thing. So it's obviously internal. So we found if we go a little bit slower, it's less likely to happen. So we might take a little bit longer, but it just depends on how rough this is the whole way there, I guess.
Here's the boardwalk to Poppel Corner. Last time we came here I filmed all of this in time lapse, so we have to do it again properly. And it was much windier when we were here last time. Actually, it was really hot.
Like October.
Yeah, yes, it was October.
It was in and out of the car, and that was it, we were done.
Yeah, it was unpleasant last time we were here.
The confluence of the 26th and 138th, 26 degrees south, 138 degrees east is the border of Territory, Queensland and South Australia. That's mad. And I swear you couldn't see that lake last time. I don't know how we didn't see it. Cracking. Now we've got to go across that, which looks a little bit more moist.
Mad. Fun.
This is into the South Australian National Park and crossing Lake Poppel. Oh, there. The whole way here it's looked like, where do we possibly get across? Everything looks wet, and as soon as we get here there's a very obvious line. Looks a lot worse further up. Yes, people trying to get around this fence, and this is obviously here for a reason. People cross in the same spot. It's definitely been wet though at some point in.
Yeah, it's very much drier now, but
yeah, it rained a week or two ago, possibly. Someone's working bike's got a bit off track.
Little island.
This bit's been wet.
Yep.
A few people have got bogged here, I think.
Very much.
Yep. Whoa!
That's it. Yep.
I don't reckon you'd want to, like, straight off the track, it's soft. Like, go straight in. But this looks very unpleasant. It looks quite old.
This is a serious rescue.
That is the whole body just ground in. They must have gone back out.
Must have, yeah, reversed out of it.
Because that's, yeah. It's insane.
It's deep.
Whoa! I don't reckon it's as old as you think.
Maybe not.
That is.
Yeah, it's pretty sloppy still.
There you go. That's what happens if you go off track, even when it looks bone dry.
Yep.
Even I know some probably got the dog in it. Even the dingos can come and have a look. But, wow, that's insane.
You can see they've used like tree shrubberies to try and.
Yeah. It shows the
Get
whole
the
water.
tracks. They were in trouble for a long time. That's fucking deep.
So I don't know if the GoPro will show it up, but the sand here is significantly yellower than it was this morning, which was really, really red. And that is because the sand isn't red, it's got a coating of iron oxide on it that takes hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands or millions of years to go on there. And so as the sand comes from the Diamantina, it's super yellow, and as it works its way through the desert, it over hundreds or thousands or whatever it is of years, it gets that red coating on it and it becomes red. So yeah, the yellower the sand, the newer it is, and the redder it is, the older it is by a long shot. So yeah, obviously down into the yellower area.
Beyond the creek, we came into the sand ridges again, more like the country near the Hay. But now the sand was becoming distinctly yellower and had lost that rich red of the desert. This meant we were at the edge of the desert and close to the Diamantina country, where the sand is all light yellow. The red colour is due to a fine coating of oxide of iron, the basis of rouge, and the grains of quartz. If boiled in acid, the grains quickly become quite clear and colourless. The coating only forms under arid conditions, which is why beach sands are never red. It takes a long time to form, so that young dunes are usually white or yellow. The sand ridges near the Diamantina are continually being built up from sand from the river deltas, so that the ridges are white along the river and gradually become redder toward the interior of the desert until they are red as rouge.
Does this have a lake? Does this have a name?
Yeah, Lake Thomas.
Okay. It's our first hard-looking dune line.
Get bumped if we do that.
Made it. Just had to downshift. It's definitely one of the harder dunes we've done, like including last trip. There wasn't enough run up to get enough speed up it. Well, I suppose because you lost traction going off that track, didn't you?
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
There's been some unlucky people on this one. What should have been the original line has definitely been bypassed for a reason. This one got a name? No.
I think so. Any of them did.
Yep. There's some deep ruts. This one's had a lot more water through it. Miscellaneous Salt Lake number 73. So we think we've diagnosed the grinding noise. We've managed to turn, my car's got two traction control off settings. It's got one where it says it on the screen, and then it's got one that has a little thing, a little light. So we've managed, which four-wheel drive, low range turns it off. So we've managed to work out how to turn that off, and the grinding seems to have gone away. So I think it's something to do with the front bit diff, I don't know, I'm not a car person, but the bit that engages for the four-wheel drive traction control in the front to do different power to each wheel, that is tripping out and not grabbing properly or something. It did also have a very similar noise on our last trip out to Poppel Corner last time. We had attributed it to it after the fact to the upper control arm bolt coming loose, but I'm tending to think that it isn't, and it was something to do with that, and whether it's something inside the drive mechanism or whatever it is for the front right wheel that stuffs out. And so it's either stretching or something and not engaging properly and tripping out. But I will, if I actually find out what it is, I will let you know, because yeah, it's been doing our head in and getting worse and worse. I'm thinking there's a problem, but since we turned traction control off and whatever it is off, it hasn't happened once. So we're quite stoked, because we were getting a little bit concerned.
This is very hard to walk up and pretty hard to drive up to.
Faster.
I'm trying.
So we came into this dune a little bit slow because I was going to let Mel out to film it, and I got about a third of the way up and got bogged and had to reverse down. So we're going to have another crack and Mel's going to film it. Supposed to be a desert with nothing alive, and it is so green and lush, it's insane. And it's not just spin effects, it's trees and little green shrubberies and big trees, and yeah, incredible. Like there's almost not much visible sand and mostly green plants. It's forgotten how to desert. To go over an island. This is the same Salt Lake. This is the top of that one. Yep. Coming up on the first vehicle. Thanks very much. The first vehicle we have seen driving. We went on the after Camp 1A. We saw those people who were packing up from the morning. Last night, 3 guys drove past us just after we set up, and this is the very first vehicle we've come across. Like traffic hour. Peak hour. It's like traffic hour. Haven't seen anyone, and we've just seen 8 cars in a row. His car chassis is twisted or something. It is driving sideways. Got Mel to drive this dune while I filmed at the bottom. A critical part of getting the filming is actually pressing the record button. So now I've got to walk up the dune, and I didn't even get the footage of her. So annoying.
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all.
The sand's getting a lot redder after that yellow chat this morning. Back into the red. It's nowhere near as red as it was earlier in the day, but yeah, it's a lot redder than when we were talking about it. It's got this beautiful savanna open up before us.
Many things going on, I can't keep track of them all. From people dropping a bomb to people putting up walls. I feel like life is on hold, perception stuck in a vault. I know that time can heal all, but how much time till we fall? It's awfully chilly outside when there's no shelter to hide. When everything is a lie, you'll find that out in some time. But when the things on your mind are all considered a crime, communication aside, we'll all just fight till we die. Is this an argument or just the start of it? Either way, I don't wanna be a part of it. Can I just get some space? I don't have the heart for this. I can't be picking up the pieces, fixing scars from this. Is this an argument or just the start of it? I wanna drive away so I can be so
It's
far
very
from it. I wanna find a place where no one
very
breaks the
wombat holey.
promises. Or maybe drive myself
Big
to
holes in
something
it.
that is bottomless. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small.
We just pulled up at the marked, all the campsites off Wiki Camps that we were planning on staying at, and there was nothing that wasn't tussicked grass. So we've got to drive on a bit. We don't know how far everything is because there's so much vegetation. You can't just pull up anywhere because it would be unpleasant. So we're just going to keep driving and hope we can find somewhere. But it seems we've gone straight up onto the top of the dunes, which is where all the stuff is. We need a nice clay pan to do it, and it's just before 4 when we like to stop around 4. Gives us time to set up before it gets dark. But it's all right. Yes, only about a couple of K on. This looks like a clay pan. Maybe we can stay in, hopefully. Well, we pulled up at this camp at, I reckon, about 4:05. Might have been slightly earlier, definitely after 4. And we are set up for the evening. Well, tents up. Fire's ready to roll for our last fire in the Simpson, because we're not allowed to have one tomorrow night in the national park bit. But yeah, on this clay pan. Got a nice bit of a breeze up tonight, so it might be a bit colder. Yeah, sunset over my shoulder, somewhere up there. Yeah, it's nice. Cracking. Time for a few drinks. Might have another shower. I've had a bit of a taste for that now, so another wash would be nice just before the sun goes down, which is only a half an hour away. Something like that. A bit of fire, some dinner. We'll be cracking. A spectacular sunset. Not really, just the sun going down. But it brings out lovely colours out here. You don't get any clouds, so you don't get any of those beautiful colours in the sky reflecting, but just the sky colours go mad, and the golden hour is the most golden you'll ever see. Hopefully my beard is reflecting the goldenness of the golden hour, which we're coming into. But yeah, you get these beautiful rich yellows and magentas and stuff out here. It's spectacular. Apparently Mel doesn't want to spill any of her burrito, so she's eating it inside a net so she can catch all the spill and eat it up later.
This is how you eat when 10,000 flies want to join you for dinner.
To a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. I know that things seem bad, but they could be much worse. There's always someone else who has a greater curse, a greater thirst, a hunger, pain.
What no one tells you about desert travel is the chafage. My nipples are like, I've run 30 Ks. They are so sore from being bounced around and chafed. I highly recommend some sort of anti-chafage cream, which I forgot to bring, because yeah, they're quite sore. And we've still got a day to go, which I can only imagine is going to get worse. Yes, so just rolling out. Oh, shut up. Rolling out at 7:10. It was a lovely night until about midnight. No, 10, 11? I don't know.
No.
Something like that. And the wind just picked up something savagely. It wasn't cold wind, it was actually really nice, but it was really noisy, blowing the tent around, and like the tent was bending and stuff. It was
Onto my head.
onto Mel's head. And I managed to dig out some earplugs and hide under the thing, and it was fine. It wasn't cold, it was actually really warm, but that kept going for a few hours, so the sleep wasn't great for a few hours. But after that, it quietened right down, and it was a lovely, still, peaceful night, which was good. So now we're off on what's probably our last day in the desert, off to Dalhousie, which is something like 180 k's, which is why we've rolled out early, to try and get there early enough to have a special swim that we're really looking forward to when we get there, to make a little bit of cleanliness that hasn't been a Gatorade shower or Powerade shower. So hopefully it is doable today. So it might be a bigger day, but the dunes should be getting smaller, but I don't know if that means the tracks are getting harder or easier. But yeah, enjoy, hopefully. Third low seems to be the best. It's going to be bumpy on the way up. And we have no idea where the track goes.
Yes, sorry. It's quite a drop.
Since probably a quarter of the way through the desert, pretty much after the Arabanga, whatever it's called, and Damunga, whatever that track was called. Arabina track, the dunes have gotten significantly more interesting. Up until there, they were fairly tame, and
yeah, you had a lot more of that on top of the ridge.
Yeah, whereas from there on, pretty much all of today's driving and a bit of the end of yesterday have been fun, like the QAA line dunes. Not as tall, but like all wombatty, and you've definitely got to maintain speed up, whereas yesterday you could stop halfway up them. Yeah, it's been quite interesting, considering I thought they got smaller as you went. But yeah, there's been some quite big ones as well, with multiple tracks and big crests on top, and then now looking ahead, it looks like they're all small again. Yeah, that was a really nice, good, fun section of dunes. So I think I have no idea, 100 k's in, maybe a little bit more, I don't know. Let's have a look at the 110 k's in. So yeah, sort of maybe 80 to 110 was really cool. So even 70-ish. It's very nice.
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palms. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free. You know I'm addicted to you, and it's twisted. You've been gifted with the evil voodoo. Got me coming back for more, even when I've been screwed. Dolls full of pins, pierce my heart straight through. I got issues in my head. I like you in my bed, but you keep me on red. Oh, everything is like a test. I better not text or I'll come off desperate.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, baby, you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed, thinking something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing?
So if I play dead, will you regret everything that you did, that you said? I don't think you understand what you're doing, and my heart's black and blue from the bruising. I feel like when I'm with you I'm losing. I feel like you think that this amusing, sitting there gaslighting and confusing. Was it me? Is it me? Am I deluded?
Way to go.
I'm the one who's always sorry, the conclusion.
Way to
Even
go.
though I offer all of the solutions, I wish you loved me like I love you.
One has a penis.
When I'm alone with you I never feel lucid. I wish I wasn't
Awesome.
struck by Cupid. I wish when I first saw you
Beautiful.
I knew this.
I'm not
Now with you,
phased
I
at
feel
all.
so useless. I feel diluted. My heart's been wounded. Silhouettes of you are like a
Well, we've just reached the Colson track, which I think was the north-south adventure by Mr. Colson, whose name escapes me. And we've got heaps of food, we've got heaps of water, we've got heaps of fuel, so we're contemplating doing that. Sort of 200 k's back up to Camp 5 and then around. So we can't decide whether to do it or not, so we'll do a coin toss and see how it goes. So we'll do heads, we do Colson, tails, we do Dalhousie. Guess we're going to Dalhousie. Oh well, it was worth a thought. Getting into the much redder dunes again, which is nice. It's very pretty. Keep going a bit. That's it. Yeah. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Straight over. Yep, just take it slow. Yee, wishka. Oh, steak. Some nice real big dunes lately. Another cool one. Steep as. Never shows up on the GoPro. Keep going. Keep that foot in. Left, left, left. Yep. That's one. Ever since the Colson track, the road has turned to shit. It is just wombatty the entire way, which is a bit annoying. I don't know if it gets a lot more traffic on this bit or, yeah, but it's so much slower. Every dune's like just holes and, yeah. And in between the dunes doesn't drop down all the way and it's just holy and slow. I don't think we're getting much over sort of 20, give or take. This is the joining of the Wonga corner or something like that. I don't know.
Road down to the KAA line.
Yeah, so that's the last join on, and then we've only got about 20 k's. Let's keep rolling. See me rolling.
4 motorbikes, 3 vehicles heading west on the French line.
And as soon as we went past Wonga corner, it seems more like a formed road. Like it seems like there's road base down and it's been compacted. So whether that's because there's oil wells or something, it seems, yeah, we're straight up over 50, whereas up to there we're lucky to be pushing 20. So yeah, it's I think that's pretty much the end of the Simpson hard stuff. And then yeah, first dune is just hard pack, so it's got to be a formed road. Still some bumps and nasty bumps, but it's not soft like that. Like the stuff coming down Hay River at the end might be something to do with oil stuff, oiling. Hit our first vehicles heading the same direction as us. They look like they've just come up Rig Road from the sound of it. This is the first people we've come across that we're following in 5-6 days. This is it. We are coming up. Oh, look at that, a sign. 40. We are coming up on the end of the Simpson Desert. I think it's just the national park because it still looks like there's some more dunes, but who knows. It says the edge of the national park, Simpson Desert National Park we're leaving, which is called Mungathiri Simpson Desert National Park, and then entering the Wujara something national park. I don't know. Let's have a look.
Maybe that one.
That's the Simpson Desert. So yeah, we're leaving the Simpson Desert. Only a few more dunes left into the Wujira National Park. That was fun. I've still got 190 k's to go, I think, today to Dalhousie. 75. Almost there. Switch over. All of a sudden the ground is more rocky. The dunes are almost dying off. And they're definitely a lot smaller, and the stuff is not as green. It's different green. The colour of the spin effects and stuff is all a different colour. It's greyer.
Yeah, it's not spin effects.
Whatever it is.
Anymore.
It's a lot deader as well. Not as luscious and frondy, and yeah, everything's changed in the last 5 kilometres. Currently crossing the last few very small dunes. It's over. We're into the Giver Plains. Still 1 or 2 dunes left, but yeah, all of a sudden over that dune and into lots and lots of Giver. This is it. We are atop the very last dune on the French line, which is a bit of a letdown as the last dune. It's not very exciting.
Tiny.
Very small and very big. It's a road over the top, basically, like somewhere down there. That's it. Going over the other way, over to Birdsville, is far more impressive because you finish on Big Red, whereas this is just like a little pissy dune. But that's it. 5 days, and I don't know. There's 1,100 sand dunes in the Simpson Desert, and we missed out a chunk at that end. So I'm going to say we probably did 1,400 I don't know, something 700 each way maybe. It's been interesting and swell. And on to Dalhousie now for a lovely swim.
End of the dunes, we can remove the flag. Although it's looking a bit difficult. Well, we've definitely left the desert. We found water. I think this is the Red Mulga Creek, I think. But it is very full. Like, it's not flowing, it dries up over here. Patches of water over there, but it's kind of incredible to see so much water out here. There's awesome like cliffs up along the side, so it must, when it is full, it must get a lot of water. Pretty.
Salt Creek.
It's really cool.
Well, we made Dalhousie at lunchtime. I don't know, it's about midday, give or take. So that last bit from when we filmed last was just road, or other than the spring on the creek. But yeah, it's just dusty road. We've got here and it's packed. Well, it's not packed, but there's probably 30 caravans or cars and stuff set up. So we're just getting ready in the car park to go for a swim. There was no one in this section to go for a swim. And 7 or 8 cars have turned up to go for a swim as well. So our lovely secluded little swim will be busy. That's all right. We've got a lovely bottle of wine that we're going to drink, even though it's, well, not drink the whole bottle, but have a glass to celebrate the end of our trip in the desert at the lovely Dalhousie Springs spring. Beautiful. Oh wow. Whoa! Cheers.
Cheers.
Did it? It's like a bath. Oh wow, that wine's tasty. Oh.
There are bits where you can stand, sorry.
Oh man. Oh, cleanliness. How's that?
Get back on a dusty road.
Yeah, wine's good. Water's good.
Well, we're probably another hour out of here to get
Cleaning is good.
Oh, that was sensational fun. This is like, I don't know, it's bath temperature. Whatever you would consider bath temperature to be, it's about that. But luckily it's only like 17 degrees today
Yeah, it's actually
and windy, so it's actually perfect. A little bit cooler, it'd been like a couple of degrees, be okay, we wouldn't want it much more today. On a 38-degree day it'd be a bit different. But there's yes, my feet are being eaten alive by fish. It's bizarre. I'm a smorgasbord apparently. Yeah, this wine is tasty. A celebratory wine before we drive to Udinadatta, I think.